Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the topic that is neosome, that is under the topic of targeted drug delivery system. So first of all we have to see the introduction about the neosomes. In the first one, the definition. So we can call that neosome is a vesicle that is composed of the bilayer of non-ionic surfactant or surfactant agents, and that we can call the neosome. So that we have to compare with liposome. So it is made up of the vesicles that is made up of bilayer phospholipids. Here the vesicle is formed, but it is made up of bilayer of non-ionic surfactant. So neosomes are non-ionic surfactant that is based on unilamellar or multilamellar. So based on the layer, so single, so unilamellar or multi-layers are there. So multilamellar bilayer vesicles that is made up of hydration of non-ionic surfactants that we have to add with or without adding or incorporation of the cholesterol. Neosomes we can also call as a non-ionic surfactant vesicles. In the neosomes, the words that neos means the non-ionic surfactant and zomes means the vesicles. So the neosomes is under the part of the novel drug delivery system. Neosomes are very small, like microscopic in the size. Their size lies between the nanometric scales. Around the ranges from some 10 nanometer up to the several micrometers are there. And there are the novel drug delivery systems in which the medication is encapsulated in their vesicles. So neosomes in that non-ionic surfactant vesicles that can entrap both the type of the drugs like hydrophilic and lipophilic, both type of natures of drug, water soluble and lipid soluble drug that entrap either in the aqueous layer, means water soluble drugs are there, hydrophilic drugs are there, so they have to entrap into the aqueous layer, or the lipid soluble drug or water insoluble hydrophobic drugs are there, or lipophilic drugs are there, they have to entrap into the lipid material that is outside the layer or vesicular membrane. So similar, like we can say that these vesicular systems are similar to the liposomes. Liposome also used as a carrier. It is a vesicles made up of bilayer phospholipid. Here also neosome also is a vesicles made up of non-ionic surfactants. In both the case, liposome or neosomes use as a carrier of amphiphilic or lipophilic both. So hydrophilic or lipophilic both drugs we have to entrap it. Neosome is less toxic as compared to liposome and improve the therapeutic index of the drugs by restricting its action to the targeted cell. So we can say that nowadays neosomes have recently been shown to great for the researchers for their research work on that neosomes, and that greatly increase the transdermal delivery systems, and as well as for the targeted delivery systems. The second, the structure of neosomes. So neosomes we can already see that is in small size microscopic lamellar structures are there, which are formed or composed of the mixture of non-ionic surfactant with the cholesterol or without the cholesterols, and subsequently go for the hydrations in that aqueous media, water media, so that create the bilayer. In the case of neosome, is made up of the non-ionic surfactants. In liposome, it is made up of phospholipids. So most of the surfactant agents, when we have to immerse into the water or aqueous medium, that yield the micellal structures. So however, some surfactant can yield bilayer vesicles that which are formed, we can call as the neosomes. So in that neosomes, the surfactant bilayers are there, that hydrophilic ends exposed on the outside and the inside of the vesicles, while the hydrophobic chain that face each other within the bilayers. So the vesicles hold the hydrophilic drug that within the enclosed into the center core part with aqueous media. Hydrophobic drugs are embedded within the bilayer. So the structure similar to the liposome. Then the composition, or you can say component of the neosome. So here in the case, that is the main two parts are there, two major components are there, non-ionic surfactant and the cholesterol. So cholesterol, non-ionic surfactant, for the preparation of neosome, that two components we have to require. So cholesterol that provide rigidity and proper shape for the neosome preparations, and the surfactants plays the vital role, major role in the formations of neosomes. Generally non-ionic surfactant, for the examples that you have to use in that preparation of neosomes, that is span like 20, span 20, span 40, 60, 80, similar like twin 20, 40, 60, 80, that are generally used for the preparation of neosome. Similar like that. So the type of neosomes, so similar like liposomes, here also that according to their nature of lamellarity, number of layers, so the small is large and the multilamellar like are there based on their, according to the size, small neosome, large or big, like that they have to classify it. Now next, the comparisons between the neosome and the liposome. What are the differences are there? So in liposomes, from the definition that we will say that the vesicles that is made up of concentric bilayer of phospholipids, that we have to compare neosome. So it is made up of, that vesicles is made up of the non-ionic surfactants, that with or without incorporation of the cholesterol. The size range of for the liposome is around 10 to 3000 nanometers. Here size range from 10 to 100 nanometers are there. For the productions or comparisons for the cost, so comparatively neosomes are less expensive as compared to liposomes. For the liposomes, special storage conditions are required, means stability problems arise as compared to neosomes. Then phospholipids that you have to use are unstable non-ionic surfactant, they give the stability parts are there, and they comparatively more toxic, and the neosomes is less toxic if you use the non-ionic surfactant. Their toxicity that you have to consider, then you have to compare it. Next, the advantage of the neosomes. So it is, they are osmotically active, stables, have a longer storage time. Then they increase the stability of the entrapped drug. They have to increase the oral bioavailability by enhance the permeation of drugs to the skin. So in the transdermal drug system used for the targeted drug delivery systems, like liposome, they can entrap both lipophilic and hydrophilic type of drugs. High patient compliance, that we have to find use of water-based suspension, biodegradable, non-immunogenic, biocompatibility are there, improving their therapeutic performance by protecting the drug from the biological environment. So like that, these are some advantages of the neosomes are there. Then the disadvantages, some physical instabilities are there, aggregation problems are there, fusion leakage of the entrapped drugs for the drug release part, hydrolysis of that encapsulated drugs, that which limit the shelf life of that dispersion. So these are some disadvantages of the neosome. Next one, the factors that we have to consider that affecting in the vesicle size, their entrapment efficiency, drug entrapment efficiency, and the drug release characteristics. So which are the factors that we have to consider or that are affecting? So the nature of drug, nature of the surfactant, type of the surfactant, cholesterol contain, that is method of preparations. So like that, the temperatures of that hydrations, inclusion of charged molecules and nature encapsulated drug. So that we have to see that how they can affect. So in that case, suppose that we have to see the nature of drug that we have to consider. So the drug entrapment that results in increase in vesicle size. So due to the interaction of solute molecules with the head of groups of that surfactant, so that increase the mutual repulsion of the surfactant bilayer. Type of the surfactant, so that also means size of neosome based on their HLB of that. You have to select the surfactant span 80, span 20, so their HLB values are different. So that reason is surface free energy that decrease with increasing the hydrophobicity of that surfactant. So hydrophilic surfactant that owing to high aqueous solubility on hydrations that allow free hydrated unit to exit the aggregates and collage to form the laminar structures like that. Cholesterol that you have to use their content, so the inclusion of cholesterol in neosomes that increase its hydrodynamic diameter and entrapment efficiency. So that also the rigidity of bilayer that also dependent on the cholesterol concentration. Release rate also inversely proportional like that. So that also we have to consider the cholesterol part. Method of preparations, so that directly indirectly affect to the size or diameter of that vesicles. So if we have to go for handshaking methods are there, so their diameter in ether injection method, so there is a change in the diameter of that neosomes. River phase evaporation method that you have to use, so that produce the large unilaminar vesicles, and microfluidization method that produces small. So like that the method of preparations also affect directly to the vesicular size. So next, the method of preparation. So here there are so many methods are there for the preparation of neosomes, similar like liposomes also. So we have to go for the handshaking method, thin film hydrations like that. Then ether injections are there, reverse phase evaporation, sonications, microfluidization, heating methods are there, bubbles method, then the proneosome technologies are there. So we have to see one by one. The film methods or handshaking methods in films, so also known as handshaking methods are there. So here first we have to take the surfactant and cholesterol that dissolve into the organic solvent, volatile organic solvents. So dissolve into the organic solvents in a round bottom flask. Examples like volatile organic solvent, diethyl ethyl chloroforms are there. So we have to add surfactant and cholesterol that we have to dissolve into that organic solvent. Then we have to go for the removal of that organic solvents at the room temperatures using the rotatory evaporator. We remove the volatile organic solvents, so that create the thin layer, thin film of that mixtures that deposited on the wall of the flask. Then that the resultant dry surfactant films can be rehydrated or hydrated with the aqueous phase, so that we have to add the water or aqueous phase at by the agitations. We have to gently go for the agitations up to 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. Then we have to get the multilamellar vesicles type of by the handshaking method. Similar that diagram they are given. In round bottom flask we have to take surfactant, cholesterol, is only organic solvents, handshaking. Then evaporations are there, rotatory evaporator. Dry films are there that you have to go for hydrations. Then the neosomes dispersion. Similar like in liposomes, same methods that you have to use. Then the ether injection, that also you have to use in the liposome preparation. Similar like methods are there. So the solutions that you have to use, the surfactant is made by dissolving it into the solvent, organic solvent, diethyl ether. Then this solution is we have to introduce by the injectant, rapid or slow. Any type of that we have to go for it, rapid injection or slow injection. We have to require based on their size. So 14 gauge needles into the warm water or aqueous media that containing the drug. So drug already add into the aqueous phase, and the surfactant based organic phase that we have to injected through the series. The 14 gauge needles are there. Then vaporization of that ether by applying the heat up to maintain the temperature of warm water at the 60 degrees Celsius. Vaporization of that organic solvents, the ethers, that leads to the formation of the single layer luminous vesicles are there. So that is ether injection. Similar like sonication methods are there. So the drug solution that in buffer that is added to the surfactant or cholesterol mixture solutions. Then you have to go for the sonication like prop sonicated or bath sonicated. So generally prop sonicated. So mixture is you have to go for prop sonicated at 60 degrees Celsius for around 3 minutes. And using the sonicator with titanium probe to yield the neosome. So there is a sonication method. Then the reverse phase, the evaporation technique or methods are there. So here in that the cholesterol and surfactants around 1:1 equal ratio that we have to take and dissolve into the mixture into the organic solvent like volatile organic solvent, ether and the chloroform. Then go for emulsified and get the water in all emulsion. Then go for the sonication. So in you did that, so aqueous phase containing drug that we have to add to this, so that creating resulting two phase that go for the sonication at 4 to 5 degrees Celsius. Then the organic phase that we have to remove by using rotatory evaporator. Otherwise we have to reduce the pressure, apply the vacuum low pressure at 40 degrees Celsius. We have to remove the organic solvent like ether and chloroforms. Then the resulting that solutions are the surfactant lipid first form a gel. Then we have to go for hydrated to form the vesicle or the large vesicles are there, vessels are there. So LUV type of that the neosomes you have to find out. Another method that is heating methods are there. So it is non-toxic, scalable and one-step methods are there. So in that the mixture of this non-ionic surfactant, cholesterol that we have to are added to the aqueous medium, that is buffer or distilled waters are there. Then in the presence with that we have to add the polyol such as glycerols are there. In the mixture we have to go for heating up to 60 degrees Celsius or 120 degrees Celsius. In case of the solution that is heated at 120 degrees Celsius to dissolve the cholesterol, and then surfactant is added to that buffer in which cholesterol is dissolved at 60 degrees Celsius, then stirring for 15 minutes so that neosomes obtain after that left at the room temperatures for 30 minutes and then kept at the 4 to 5 degrees Celsius under the nitrogen atmosphere. So that is the heating method. Then microfluidization. So in that recent techniques that is used for prepare of ULV of defined size distributions based on the somewhat jet principles are there. So two fluidized streams that interact at ultra high velocity is precisely defined in the microchannels within the interaction chamber. The impingement of the thin liquid sheet along a common front is arranged such that the energy is supplied to the systems that remain within the area of the neosome formation, so that the result is greater uniformity, the smaller size that we have to find out in the microfluidization, and better reproducibility of the neosome are formed. So that is one of the methods are there that we have to get uniformity and the smaller size of that neosome. Other than that, multiple membrane extrusion method. So here in that, so mixture of similar like surfactant, cholesterol and the diacetyl phosphate that you have to add into the chloroform, dissolve into the chloroform, and is made into the thin films by the evaporation. The film is hydrated with aqueous drug solutions, then the resulting suspension that is extruded through the polycarbonate membranes, which are placed in series for up to 8 passages are there. Then the transmembrane, the pH gradient drug uptake processes are there. So in that also the solution of surfactant cholesterols that is made in chloroform, then solvent is then evaporated under reduced pressure to get the thin film of the wall in the round bottom flask, like similar like thin film hydration method. The film is hydrated with the vortex mixing with the using citric acids. Then the resulting from the multilaminar vesicles are frozen and thrown, treated to three freeze-throw cycles, and then go for the sonication. That sonicated, so the neosomal suspensions are formed. That aqueous solution containing around 10 mg per ml of drug that is added and go for the vortex. So the pH of the sample is then rise around 7.2 using 1 molar disodium phosphate, and then lastly the mixture is later that go for the heating around 60 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. That gives the neosome. So that is transmembrane pH gradient drug. Like the another method, that is bubble method. So it is a novel technology, recently developed techniques which allow the preparation of neosomes and liposomes that without use of that organic solvent. So that the use of that organic solvent, that we have to counter it by that method. So in that, the bubbling unit that consists of round bottom flask with 3 neck. Okay, that the position of the 3 neck position in water bath to control the temperature. Then the water cool reflux and thermometer is positioned in the first and the second neck for the water cool and the water cool reflux and thermometer, and nitrogen supply through the third neck. So that is the 3 necks positions are there. One for the water cool reflex, second for the thermometer, and third for the nitrogen supply. Cholesterol and surfactant mixtures are dispersed together in this buffer around pH 7.4 at 70 degrees Celsius. The dispersion mix for 15 seconds with use of high speed homogenizer, and immediately afterwards bubble at 70 degrees Celsius using nitrogen gas to yield the neosome. So in that, the size reductions, any methods that you have to use, they depend on the size. So probe sonication used, so like that size that you have to find out. With the extrusion method, sonication and filtration, microfluidizer, high pressure homogenization. So microfluidizer, high pressure homogenization, we have to get reduced around less than 100 nanometer. And other sonication, extrusion more than 100, in between 100 to 200, that we have to find out. Drug loading, so similar like liposomes, here the active loading and the passive loadings are there. During the formation of neosome, that we have to add, and after empty neosomes that we have to prepare, and then we have to add the drug. So that is active, and during the process of manufacturing, during the preparation of neosome, that we have to add the drug. So that is passive loading methods are there. Another, the formation of neosome from the proneosomes. So proneosomes are dry formulations of the surfactant coated carriers are there, so which can be measured out as needed and go for rehydrated by brief agitations in hot water, and that create the neosome. So water soluble carrier such as sorbitol is coated with the surfactant, and the result of the coating process that is dry formulations in which each water soluble particle is covered with the thin film of the dry surfactant. This preparation is termed as a proneosome. So advantage, convenience for storage, transport, dosing, more stable formulations being dry powder that makes processing and packaging easier as compared to the other. So neosomes are recognized by the addition of the aqueous phase with the drug to the proneosome with brief agitations at the temperature greater than the mean transition phase temperature of that surfactant. Then the separation of the untrapped drug in the neosome. So the three methods are there: dialysis, gel filtration, and centrifugation. So dialysis, tubing against the phosphate buffer, normal saline or glucose solutions at that time. Dialysis method use gel filtrations, the column with phosphate buffer saline or normal saline. In the centrifugation, centrifuge and supernants layer separated. The pellets washed and resuspended in the normal suspension free from untrapped drugs. So like that, the separation of untrapped drugs are there. Then the characterization. So for the neosome, similar like liposomes, the characterizations are there. You have to go for size, shape, morphology, vesicle size, their shape, morphologies are there. So electron microscopic, that you have to use fridge fracture electron microscopy. Transmission is so TEM, so transmission electron microscopies are there. For the shape and surface morphology, scanning electron microscopy. So like that we have to use for the visualize the vesicle structure of the surfactant. Photon correlation spectroscopy to determine the diameter of the vesicles. Electron microscopy for the morphological studies are there. Their mean particle size, vesicle size distributions, surface charges, free flow electrophoresis are there. Entrapment efficiency that we have to calculate after preparing neosomal dispersion untrapped drug that is separated by the dialysis method. That already we have to remove the untrapped drug, and then drug remaining entrapped in neosomes is determined by complete physical disruptions using the assay method or analytical methods are there. Then particle size, surface charges, particle size distribution that we have to find out with the zeta sizes. Also find out, determine the measurement of electrophoretic mobility like zeta potential for the stability purpose. So the percentage of free drug and percentage captures, so chromatographies are there, centrifugations are there, phase behavior, free throwing, so DACs are there, or electron microscopies that you have to use. Lamellarity, so X-ray or microscopic methods that you have to go for it. Then zeta potential measurement or zeta size used for the surface pH potentials are there. In vitro drug release studies, so that you have to go for the diffusion cell or dialysis methods are there. So in the method of in vitro, the release rate study or drug release study that includes the use of dialysis tubing or dialysis bag. So dialysis sac is washed and soaked in the distilled water, and the vesicle suspension is pipetted into that bag or tube that made up of tubing, and then they go for the seal. The bag containing the vesicle is placed into the buffer solutions in the beaker, 250 ml of beaker or any containers with constant, go for the steering at around 25 or 37 degrees Celsius, and various time intervals the buffer is analyzed. We have to take it out to sample and we have to go for analyze by using any appropriate analytical method like assay or the spectroscopic method for find out or calculate the percentage drug release or drug release of that neosome. Then the stability part of the neosome, so stability in the buffer, stability in hyper or hypotonic media, stability in vivo, and that stability that is influenced by the various factors like surfactant, lipid ratio, encapsulated drug, temperature of the storage, the detergent, surfactant, like that. So stable neosome suspension must exhibit at constant particle size and constant concentration of that entrapped drug. Stability of neosome that is influenced by the entrapped drug, that already you have to see their concentration of the entrapped drug, type of the surfactant concentration analog with cholesterol content. Sonicated neosomes exhibit different stability at room temperature on the basis of the formulation ingredient. So by using that method also affecting cholesterol rich spherical neosomes are stable at room temperatures, whereas sonicated polyhedral neosomes are stable above the phase transition temperatures but not at the room temperature. they create the stability. So the temperature of the storage also affecting the stability of that neosomes are there. Then next, lastly, the applications. So for the targeted, most important drug targeting parts are the anti-neoplastic, so neoplasia, so cancer treatments are there, some dermal and mucocutaneous infections that use for that, for peptide drug delivery systems. Then for the oral or ophthalmic drug delivery system, they have to use diagnostic purpose imaging with the neosomes, and infective anti-cancer therapies are there. For the vaccine adjuvants, that you have to use some immunoresponse studies also, that you use transdermal drug delivery systems, most widely used nowadays. For that, transdermal drug delivery systems are there. Other than the carrier for hemoglobin, immunological applications are there. But most widely transdermal ophthalmicals are there. Other than neosomes, generally used as a carrier for any drug delivery system that you have to use. So in the last, that give the examples, the marketed product that is available. The one examples are given for Lancome, that has come out with a variety of anti-aging products. There is example for the neosomal based formulations are there, neosomal based products are there. So these are the conclusions, that we have to see the neosomes, their definitions, their structure, type, then the method of preparations, which are the factors that affecting the neosomes or part, vesicle size, entrapment efficiency, drug release, then characterization of the neosomes and the applications of the neosome. Thank you.